Welcome everyone to the CDO magazine series of one-on-one interviews with CDOs, data leaders, and key influencers. You're listening to Robert Ludden, Vice President Sandhill Consultants, coming to you today from Toronto, Canada. Working with the CDO magazine, the MIT CDO IQ Symposium, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers. Today, I would like to introduce Donna Cotton, Chief Data Officer of the US Air Force Seek Eagle Office. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It is our pleasure too. What I'd like to do is start with an opening question that gets our audience a little bit more familiar with you. If you can tell us a little bit about your career, what brought you to data, and about the US Air Force and the Seek Eagle office that you're in.
Okay, thank you. So I started out my career as a software engineer. I've been very fortunate to have a broad range of experience, from software to systems to process and quality. And then what we have found is we need to be able to do things faster at Seek Eagle. So it naturally progressed to the data aspects of it. We are responsible for ensuring the safety of flight of Air Force property with the aircraft, as well as our pilots. So when you think about that, this organization has been around for some 50 years, you think of all the data, the test data that's been collected, or the flight configurations that have been flown over all that time. The amount of data that's been collected is just astronomical. So, but we're not using it very efficiently. And so it was really a natural progression of, hey, we need to use our past data to be able to make decisions to go faster in the future. So that's kind of how we got here.
And how did you get into the Seek Eagle US Air Force? Were you a serving member in the past, or?
Yes, I actually am. That's not how I got to where I am now. However, I actually started in industry at Boeing and found myself working at as many do, working for contractors who supported the United States Air Force, and then ended up being a government employee as a civilian, and just naturally progressed from one organization to the other based on my skill sets and what they needed at the time. And so I've been with the Air Force Seek Eagle office since 2012, helping them modernize and getting their infrastructure prepared to be able to support the future.
So, well, thank you for that, and thank you for all your content that you provide into the safety of flights and pilots. One of the questions we're asking our CDOs is that recent stats have shown that CDOs have been appointed in past several years, and we're wondering how, as it's a relatively new role, compared to other roles in the C-suite, how you have adjusted to coping with these new responsibilities. As you say, you've probably been in the organization just around about 8 years. So I'm not sure, are all those 8 years as a CDO? Perhaps we can get your information on that.
No, absolutely not. You're absolutely right. And what I find most exciting about my role as the Chief Data Officer here for Seek Eagle is that it got stood up and aligned at the same time that the Air Force was actually establishing a Chief Data Officer for the Air Force. And what was really incredible, and I think this is maybe the first time that I met you, it was at a different venue, right. But in California, it was around 2018, and the Air Force had just stood theirs up, and I had just been promoted and been asked to do the same thing. And we were on an information gathering and trying to find out what best practice was, and so that we could align properly at the very beginning with the Air Force and industry best practice, so that we could maybe learn from mistakes and not make them again for ourselves.